Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games from the Game Pass collection, bringing you 3 unique perspectives from varying skill range. I am the Jane Shepherd of this episode. Andrew, with me, our Mass Defect, a.k.a. Prentice Shepherd, a.k.a. Keith.
Hey, Shepherd.
Hey, Shepherd. But with us, our Mass Defect, a.k.a. Tulip Shepherd, a.k.a. Liz.
Hey, Shepherd.
Hey, Shepherd. And this week, we had a listener pick, so thank you so very much, Ron, for suggesting that we play one of my all-time favorite games, Mass Effect, by Bioware Studios. Mass Effect is a third-person action RPG where you are playing either Jack or Jane Shepard, who is the first human specter, which is a special agent for the Citadel, and you are trying to uncover the mystery as to why this rogue specter named Saren is out to get the humans. Going around... I mean, I guess I'll start because people can already guess. This is a definite game for me. If you have not played Mass Effect, you need to do that right now.
What are you doing with your lives?
It is so fantastic. The story is just so well written. The combat for the first one, I will say, it's a little dated. This is an original Xbox game, but overall, though, for the Legendary Edition, like they've done some improvements on it. Mass Effect is just a fantastic game. I've already gotten so many people into this game, so if you have not played Mass Effect, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but you need to play it right now.
So I think it's going to come weird because I didn't complain about Skyrim, but Skyrim wasn't really much of a game for me. And here we are playing another, not lengthy, but sizable RPG. And it's a game for me. There's not issues, but things here and there that I was like, I don't love this, or I don't know. I wasn't in love with it on Andrew's level by any means, but it's a game, and I assume we're probably going to do more of it, so I'm ready for that too.
You bet your sweet patootie we are.
I feel like anyone who's been playing for a long time is going to know this is right up my alley. I love games like this. They're great. The looting, the shooting, and at first, I didn't want to play video games this week, and well, actually, we played this game for 2 weeks, so when I started out, I was like, 2 weeks of a game. But it ended up being a game that I loved. So, I
feel like you didn't just love this game. I felt like this is actually probably one of your favorite games too.
I'm on my second playthrough, and I've been mostly focusing on side missions, and I'm already like over halfway done. And because you get to have different choices and stuff, and I'm kind of playing almost the same way that I did the first time. I'm changing things a little bit. I just have trouble being rude to people who aren't being rude to me. So I'm like, I'm going to go like renegade this time. And I was just like, I feel rude. I can't say that. So, but I'm just trying to make better decisions this time around. But yeah, definitely a game for me. And I'm really excited for the other ones because you said they keep going uphill, right?
Yeah. So getting into the story, Mass Effect is a 10 out of 10 for story. It is so well written. If you're not a sci-fi person, you may... Actually, no. I think you'll still fully enjoy this story. So the story of Mass Effect is humanity is kind of the last species in this galaxy to kind of make their place into the space race. Humanity finds this ancient technology on Mars that excels their technology level through space travel by hundreds of years, and this is known as the Mass Effect. Then they discover these relays that let you fast travel throughout the galaxies and go to different parts of the Milky Way. And then eventually they stumble upon the other alien races that are in the Citadel. And the Citadel is kind of this big governing seat of all different hierarchies of aliens. So long story short, humanity is new to this galactic entity of different council members, and so you're trying to prove yourself. And you as a new alliance, well, not new, you are playing a character where you get to pick your kind of backstory of, where you came from. Are you from Earth? Are you from space? Yada, yada, which plays out in the story. You are sent on a mission to go to a human colony that is being attacked randomly. And you're trying to figure out, they were digging up this artifact. You got to figure out, what's the significance of this artifact and why is the outer colony here being attacked? You uncover that there is a rogue agent whose name is Saren, who just hates humanity. And you got to figure out why. But as Liz said, what's really great about this story, there's a lot of twists and turns, but I didn't feel like they were... I felt like the twists and turns were always kind of hinted at. And when you start putting the pieces together, it hits you in such great moments. And the choices you make, whether you're going good or bad, which this game has a morality system in, it plays out between Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3. So it really has this game as this really cool replayability as to what you're doing and stuff. I don't know about you guys, but to me, Mass Effect story is a 10 out of 10. I actually read one of the books too. I read the prequel book, which explains how Captain Anderson and Saren were like a buddy cop duo, and how
I thought
how
Anderson
Captain Anderson
didn't
became a
trust
Spectre.
him from the get-go.
He didn't, and so that's what you kind of read in the book. But Saren was appointed as kind of like Captain Anderson's like mentor, and so Captain Anderson becomes the Spectre, and the whole story is about them and why Captain Anderson like hated Saren and like kind of figured out there was something up with them. It's a really good book. It was Mass Effect Ascension, from what I remember.
See, I want to read it now. But going back to what you said about like when you're first picking your character, it's really interesting because you have your pre-service history and your psych profile, and it's all about what you've been through. And the dialogue actually comes back to that later on, no matter what you pick. And then your specialization. And going through my second playthrough, I love that I'm being more proficient in other areas. So I'm fighting differently. I'm playing differently. And what you were saying earlier as well about like the choices that you make, they affected me more than I thought I would. Like, so, there's like smaller decisions, and then there's the big ones. So like, for instance, there's a side mission and this woman is suicidal, and based on this is when
shook you.
I know, because this is when I didn't really understand. So I was like heavy in charm, and I didn't understand like I had to do the blue to like do positive. And she killed herself. And this is before I realized that the autosave sucks and I could just, quit out and go back. And so I'm playing the second playthrough. I'm like, I'm going to make sure I do this one right. But it's also like you can save Rex. And I love Rex. I didn't want his character to die.
Be careful, Swileys.
Okay.
I'll probably delete that.
Well, okay. First of all,
I'll bleep it out.
First of all, this game is super old. But anyways.
It is, but if you haven't played this is an experience.
Okay, let me
No, I'll just bleep out the guy's name.
And then there's also, you can get people to turn themselves in if you are good at intimidate or charm. Or I think sometimes it's one or the other, because I really struggled with that. And then the big decision at the end. And then there's also a decision where you have to save one of the characters. And I wanted to send somebody to their death because they suck. And I didn't realize I was doing the opposite of what I wanted. And there's also romance. Like, there's so much of the story that you can really get into. And also, I know I'm saying also a lot, I'm sorry. But
you were into this game.
There's racism in this game too.
Yeah.
And one thing that bothered me is that, like, so I went online, like, Googling it, because there was this particular quote that I wanted to find. And I mean, everyone who's played this game, I feel like, talks about Ashley and her racism. And I think it's so funny when people try to like say like, no, she's not racist. There was this dialogue where she said, and this is paraphrasing, but if you were about to be attacked by a bear, you would stick your dog on the bear to save your life. It's not that you don't love the dog, but they're not human. And she was saying that in reference to aliens.
Yeah.
And it's like,
to
why
your alien
the heck
crewmates.
are you at the Citadel right now? Go back to your home planet if you don't like aliens. But there's also like things said between like the Turians and the Krogans. It's not just her. But I was just like, if you don't like other species, go away. Like, you don't have to be here. So there were a lot of things like that I just found really interesting.
I don't know, I thought overall everyone kind of hated every other species. They were all kind of like, well, we're the best one, and no one else is as good as us. We did this thing, and we did that thing. Nobody appreciates us.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you take
I'm not defending her. I'm not defending her. I'm just saying in general,
I'm just saying, like, if you look at that
sucks.
quote, and you put, instead of like aliens, if you put like a different color of skin or a different gender or a different sexual orientation,
yes,
you're gonna be raked through the coals.
Yes, and you should be. That's
yes,
an awful
exactly.
thing to say.
But what I'm saying is, like, I don't think anybody said anything as bad as that, and that's just the dialogue that I've seen, because obviously your choices kind of dictate. But like the other like kind of racist thing was like when Garrus was talking to Rex about his kind of view on Krogans, and it was not nearly as bad as that.
No,
like, that was like the worst I've seen. But that's why I'm just like, I think it's so funny when people are like, Ashley isn't racist, and I'm just like, okay.
No, to that point, I still think they all kind of suck. I mean, there's that point with the Rachni and Rex, and he's just like, just kill them all because they suck, because I hate them, because we fought them, and just kill them all now. So I don't know.
Which is funny because of the genophage. Like, you would think that he would be more sympathetic about, wiping out an entire species, but
He doesn't seem to care. But all I'm saying is everyone kind of sucks. That's my point. Now, yes, that is a terrible line. That is a terrible, horrible line. But honestly, there's a lot of bad dialogue in this game. And it's weird because it's a very small percentage of it because there's a lot of dialogue. And I'm not even saying that negatively, but there's a ton of dialogue in this game, so you're bound to get some of it. But yeah, there's definitely bits and pieces that just, whether it made me laugh or just like, that's a weird thing to say.
It's kind of crazy to think about the amount of dialogue, because if you think about it, every voice actor for all of your crewmates like had to record as if you were going to choose them the entire game, because you never know like what crewmates you're taking on a mission. So like, they had to like pre-record a bunch of dialogue, and it's impressive. I do agree, Keith. Some of the like responses your crewmates say are a little cringy, but to me it's like very, very minor. I just think the overall story is so fantastic. Like, I love this writing of this racism that's kind of in it, because like you generally don't see that too often in a game. Like, you'll hear like maybe one character or something like that, but it's generally like, Keith, you make a great point of like every species thinks, they're the best species. And to me, that's very real and organic. Like, if this was kind of real world of you being in a galactic empire kind of thing like this, like everyone's going to always kind of look out for your own species. And it makes sense when they explain a lot of these past histories and conflicts these species had. It's like the humans and the Turians were at war with each other like 15, 20 years ago before this game. So like they just recently got out of war with them.
But I jumped to conclusions because for me, like, humans are awful when they discover new things, new places.
We
new
don't have a great
people.
track record.
And so for me, like, I immediately was just like, the humans probably did something. But Andrew like looked up the history of it, and I guess the Turians were the bad guys. But still, like, I can understand if you know like anything about human history as an alien. I wouldn't trust humans either. But maybe they're like that too. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, the Quarians are exiled because they created a sentient AI, and the AI basically turned against them. It's like, have they not watched The Matrix? Like, come on.
That's true. And the Reapers, I mean...
Oh yeah, I never even got to the Reapers.
Oh my God.
Spoiler? You don't want to say that.
No.
I didn't get that. I don't think I did, at least. I don't know.
But Keith, since you obviously are the person who hates story, did Mass Effect do anything for you?
I didn't get overly engrossed in it. I did do a lot of scanning the dialogue. I didn't necessarily listen to all of it, but I would kind of quick read it and then quick read and skip through it. So I was trying to keep a general idea of what was going on. I think what I found interesting was kind of the politics of all of the different races, and this one was at war with this one actually fought to defend this one, as far as the Krogan, the Turians, the humans, and all that stuff. So I think in some ways that kind of kept me interested. And I don't know, it's probably not the first game to have ever done that, so I don't know why this one in particular drew me in. But I actually didn't overly hate it, but I certainly wasn't like drawn in and like engaged with everybody in there. I kind of just, like I said, I thought everyone was kind of a jerk.
Really?
Liz, well, it's weird because, so Liz, you talked about it, and I think I largely did the same. I made a lot of quote unquote paragon choices. I don't know. I always have a hard time making wrong choices in games. There's generally no consequence because real life, no video game, and all of that. But I'm just like, I don't know. I'm going to try and do this. And like we talked about in Skyrim, like, well, what if I meet this person? What if I do something, they die, and then I can't, shop at their store later? So pretty much always keeping people. But man, there were so many people that I was like, I don't know. I have like 3 options of like who I could choose to die here, or who gets turned in, who gets what. I'm like, can I just complete all of these and you all suck? I don't know. That's kind of my general thing, and not even because of bad writing, just because they were just all garbage characters.
Like your squad mates?
Yeah, squad mates, just generally like, was it on Novaria, I think? Yeah, where you're trying to get the pass, and you can help the smuggler, you can help the leader of the planet, or you can help the guy with his office. And I'm just like, I don't know. You seem like you're all lying about something, and nobody's really up to any good. So nobody's really doing a good thing here. I'm just bad in all situations.
See, that was like my least like so for me there was a lot of people that were doing awful things, and so I'd have options to kill them, or sometimes like my charm wouldn't be high enough, like I went to another planet before that one and I would just automatically kill them. But there are some people I was just like, no, you deserve to die. You're killing like a ton of people. I'm not gonna be sad if you go.
So how did you guys play? Paragon was the good side. Renegade is the bad side. What were you guys trying to aim for?
Largely Paragon, as I said. I mean, I had a few Renegade choices here and there, but it was, even I think like some of the worst ones I did, it was like on like some of the Arachnite fights where I was like, yeah, I'm going to kick the crap out of some tiny spiders for you. And they were like, ooh, you're a tough guy. Also, I think annihilated just about every card in that base. Sorry. I don't know. I did something. I tripped an alarm. Bad thing. Everything started shooting at me, and I just shot back.
You hacked the door that you weren't supposed to go in.
Yeah,
I did that once, and I reloaded my save because I was like, "Whoops."
I almost did, and then I'm like, you know what? At this point, I know there's consequences, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't really care. I'm just gonna get through this, and yeah, everything's shooting at me. Because the first time I did it, I got annihilated by the turret that was, I don't know, pointing at my head when I hacked the door. And so the second time I came prepared, hid behind my squad mates and let them take the fire. And then I killed the turret.
The first time that I used Renegade, I hit the Renegade option twice and I killed somebody, and I was like, oh crap. But then I went back and I did Paragon and I still killed him. But I didn't know that for the longest time until I obviously went back and played the game again. But for me, I did a lot of Paragon.
So I mostly try to do Renegade because Renegade, to me, it is a lot of fun. And I also love the dialogue your character has when you're going Renegade. But that being said, there's some choices this game gives you that, like, I know it's a video game, but every ounce of humanity in my body, it's like, you cannot pick this. This is so awful. I'm like, am I going to commit mass genocide for story's sake? And I'm just like, I cannot convince myself to do it. Because even the thing that always really kind of got me, I felt like Liz here. My squad mates are saying things like, you can't do that. That'll be awful. And I'm like, I don't want to let my squad down. I don't want them to see me being a monster. So I'm like, hey, fine, I'll let this person live.
Well, what Keith was saying earlier about like skipping through dialogue, I would accidentally I would skip through and then it would hit the next selection, even though I didn't hit it twice. And so thank goodness the autosave sucked. I kind of went back and forth with that, where I was like, I hate this autosave. Thank goodness for this autosave. Like, it was back and forth. And so for me, like, I would actually go back pretty far to fix things. But yeah, I would accidentally do bad stuff sometimes and I'd feel guilty. And if Ashley was telling me that wasn't the way to do it, I'm like, whoa. If Ashley said that I did it the wrong way, I gotta go back.
Yeah, but by that same logic, you could be like, oh, I'm going to actually help this other alien species, and she'd tell you that's wrong. So are you gonna doubt Ashley then? Ashley the racist?
I will doubt Ashley always. I will doubt her always.
No, you just said if she said what you're doing was wrong, you would listen. So if Ashley the racist is telling you that something is
wrong... She has a different motive.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying maybe she has another motive, I don't trust her.
So she's a warm-hearted racist.
From the other movies, from the other... I found stuff from the other games about her too, and I'm just like, I just don't like her. She's just not nice all around.
You getting spoilers?
No, because I haven't played the games. I was looking up, like I said earlier, I was trying to find that one dialogue section, and I found this Reddit thread. And like I said, people were trying to defend her, and other people were like, are you serious? Here's 50 receipts. And so I also wanted to point out too that Keith, I don't know if you noticed it, but with the elevator scenes, it would go through, because I know you skipped a lot, but it would go through previous things that you had done, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, it was a news broadcast.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But if you you can skip it at a certain point. I guess it depends how fast your Xbox is. But also there were times where the two people that you were with would also converse, and I would accidentally skip it. Like, crap, I really wanted to hear what they were saying to each other.
Yeah, since this was an original Xbox game, those elevator scenes are infamous to how annoying they were.
Oh, really?
They were too long. Because the original Xbox, obviously is an old system, and this is a relatively advanced game. Those were 30 to 45 second elevator rides, and being on the Citadel, you're traveling through a lot of these different sectors, so you're going on a lot of elevator rides, And so like those are pretty bad. And so that's at least what the developers did was have like dialogue and stuff to make them at least kind of interesting. But with new consoles and new game, like, yeah, as Liz said, they're a lot quicker. But I don't know if you noticed, you would actually get some side quests from listening to the radio too.
I didn't notice that.
I did notice that. Which I was actually going to bring up because you were talking about annoyances, the side missions with the Mako. I wanted to bring up that so you go travel different planets and stuff. The side missions were sometimes like kind of boring.
Honestly, the side missions are awful.
I mean, the side missions at the Citadel were interesting, but I'd get them and then they'd bring me to another planet and it was all, I mean, even though they looked a little different, they were all the same.
Yeah.
You had these awful hilly bits and then you would just like fight people and then you go back and it was just, I don't know.
The side quest stories weren't that good.
They're sad sometimes. And then you go back and deliver news and there was a twist and you're just like, oh, I felt like there were so many little side things that just made me feel really sad. The suicidal woman, the woman whose sister, the ransom one.
That suicidal woman one, like when you failed it, you were like shook to the core.
Because I thought because I was doing the top one. See, this is when I didn't really understand the rules of it, and I thought I was doing the right thing, and then she killed herself, and I was just like, it did. It bothered me for a couple days.
It's this very insignificant side quest mission, and like it. Like,
it's honestly the main reason why I'm playing the game again. I'm like, I am going to fix this.
Save this
load the autosave.
What?
When you load the autosave on that? When you failed it?
Because I didn't realize the autosave then. Yeah. It wasn't until later on that I forget what happened, but I exited out and I went so far back and I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Like I could have done that before. And then also, like I said earlier, that there were times where you died and it brought me back super far and I was like, dang it, autosave. So.
Yeah, I was not a fan of the autosave, and I think it's pretty remarkable how much you played this game. Went back that many times. I wonder if that was factored into your time played.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because, when you load a save game, it's not like it resets your time.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Either way, I never really went back for dialogue, because I think, like, I definitely did the same thing you did, Liz, as far as accidentally selecting wrong dialogue choices, but I think at least it would default to, like, the neutral selection, so you weren't doing anything crazy by accidentally doing it. But yeah, I don't know. I was not going back for that, especially because you never knew how far back that autosave was going to go if you hadn't recently saved. So I was always hesitant on that.
Oh, I just remembered because I was just thinking like it's kind of a gamble, and then I was like, oh wait, there's gambling in this, and I have to ask Andrew, did you gamble?
Only when I had to. It sucks.
You have to?
Yeah, there was a mission where you're helping because I was being a renegade. He was trying to figure out a way to like hack the system. So I played a little bit of it. It's kind of like blackjack, but it's not good. Because also, too, all you get is money. And money is not really that important in this game. Well, I literally was maxed out on money. I had $9,999, and I was like, not doing anything with this.
I felt like everything was so expensive. And I want to point out, too, that like walking around, if you hear conversations, if you want to do like the side quests and stuff and get more of the achievements, you have to figure out like where it's coming from and then talk to people. Because there's some people who are just like, oh, hey, Specter. But if you hear the conversations, that's usually where the side quests lay. And if you just walk by, you will miss them. And some
not all
of them
the
are really
time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, you can miss a lot though. Because my second playthrough, I was like, wait, I've never heard this before. And I went and talked to them, and they gave me a side mission. And I was just like, I feel like I missed so much in the first one.
So I kind of want to get your guys' opinion on the combat of this game, though. So as I said, this is a third-person action game. You create your character. You can have different classes. You kind of have a class where you can use, you're heavy into abilities, but weaker on the guns, or you can be really strong into specialties of guns, or be more of a tech person. So you had these different branches. I wanted to know, what classes did you guys pick?
I know for at least one of them, I picked the Vanguard, and then the other one, I don't remember. But I do know that with one of them, I did a lot of pistols. The other one, I specialize in pistols and...
shotguns, I think it was.
No, sniper. Because that's the one I'm doing now. And then even the abilities are different. So I can't throw with my new guy, but I can do sabotage. So
yeah, you went more tech side.
Yeah. So for me, like I definitely stayed mostly with the pistol. I kind of wish I used the shotgun more, but I mostly did for both sides. I did the sniper and the pistols, and I think it worked well for me. But I just love the different play styles, and that's why I just think that, because we always talk about like, oh, you can definitely play this game again, but I never played again. And doing this one, doing my second playthrough, I'm like, I'm actually really glad that I picked another character because the gameplay is so different.
Oh, I was Vanguard.
Oh, so you're Vanguard like Liz?
Yeah.
So I went with the generic soldier because that's kind of like the default. So my character was specialized in just every gun. Because, I just like to keep it simple. I just like to use my allies' abilities.
Do you remember what the other one I did was? Was it Adept or?
Yeah, your first one I think was an Adept. You were mostly into biotic powers.
Okay.
So I think you were a straight up Adept.
Okay.
But it's funny. I remember when you first started playing, though, in typical Liz fashion, you always used the sniper rifle. And you were sniping so many crotches.
Oh my god!
It was impressive.
I will say,
if a person's head was just on their crotch, you would probably be like MLG level pro.
It was the same with like, so those things that like bounce around, they're like crawlers and stuff.
Oh,
They would get them in the air. I was so bad at shooting them when they weren't in the air. But I would always aim for the crotch. And I don't know what it is. I don't know how to fix that about myself as a gamer. And maybe I just always aim low, which is weird. But yeah, I did that a lot. I noticed it as well this time.
I mean, it's definitely an aim thing, because I'm not as bad as you are by any means, Liz, but I definitely have a tendency to not hit as many headshots overall when I'm doing shooting games, because I don't aim high. I took a clip though that was impressive even by your standards for crotch shots though. It was like an ambush scene or like a hostage scene you walk into, and it's just a quick firefight, and I think it was like the last guy punched him square in the face, and then boom, finished him off straight between the legs. So it was pretty impressive.
I will say the second time around, I feel like I was so much better with my guns, because Andrew actually told me, you just hit left bumper like once to switch, where I'd keep doing like the radial. That's why I didn't like switch my weapon as much. And so the second time around, I was really focusing on my sniper, which, it was in my skill tree that I could really, do well with that. And when I got to a point where it would just throw people, I got so excited. I was like, I need to do sniper more. I was getting so pumped about like the different combat styles. And it would just knock them right on their keister. And then I would just keep hitting them because they were shocked. And it was great.
It truly impresses me how much you love this game, Liz. Because like you've said in multiple podcasts, when you're done with the game, you're just done. And like literally as soon as credits rolled, you were like, I'm starting again. I want a new character.
I'm kind of a little bit bored with like the main missions. I've mostly been focusing on the side missions.
Which is odd because the side missions are very boring.
I know, but I'm actually getting excited about the achievements and stuff. We have to beat like 75% of the game. And so for me, like I'm just thinking, if we play Mass Effect 2, I want this playthrough to be the one that I pick, because I hinted at it earlier, but there's a decision you have to make about like between two of your team members. But it's also like affected by like whether or not you save other people. And so for me, I want to redo that because I didn't play it the way that I wanted to.
I kind of regret telling you, Liz, that your choices kind of carried over. I kind of should have like left that mystery for you and just kind of let you play the game and do the way you wanted to, and then be surprised on the choices that you made.
I was rather upset that you didn't tell me about the choice between picking which crew member out of the two would die, because now I feel like I have to play over for that. It's not just like the early one that I talked about, but this one as well.
You knew after a certain point.
No, after I'd already picked. And that's when I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Where it's like I killed a bunch of people to save the person that I liked. Because it's one of those.
I was gonna say, you're gonna end up having like three different playthroughs of this game to play through all three playthroughs of the game.
I know, but it's one of those things where, you hear that question all the time. Like, if there were 50 people that were going to die and you could save them if you let a family member die, what would you choose? And it's like, at what point do you choose your family members? Like 50, 40, 30, 20, 10? Like, how many people? Because it's like, if it's like 10 people and it's like my bro, it's like my best friend. Like, at what number are you like,
Ashley?
Do you know what? It sucks over there.
Well, speaking of bro, though, I want to know, what was your guys' favorite crew members?
I mean, I feel like for me, it was Rex and Garrus. I accidentally
Great choices.
romanced Caden.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like, bow chicka wow wow. But for me, like I'm playing the
You're the
next
one human
playthrough.
that picked a human to have
And I'm
sex
not
with.
really talking to him because it's like, I feel like my character in Garrus, maybe. That's who I would pick for my character. I mean, Rex is unavailable, right? You said that.
I think so.
I don't get me wrong. I don't mind Caden, but I'm playing the playthrough again. I might as well pick another person. And I mean, like, how many options are there?
You have Talia, just about all of them. Talia, Liara, Ashley. Yeah, I think the only one is Rex.
Well, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I would
I'm-
pick Rex every time. He just looked
That's what I was
He's
thinking.
probably-
but
he's
now I'm
probably a
like, you know what?
cuddler.
Garrus is kind of
big,
nice.
cuddly, cold-blooded lizard.
But it's weird. It is weird to think about, like, if your significant other had lizard skin, if they were really cold all the time. Lizards are cold, right?
Yeah, they're cold-blooded.
Yeah.
I mean, you're cold all the time.
Wow.
That's what I mean. It's like the whole, like, vampire werewolf thing. It's like, do you know what? I would like to be warm, but, I mean, lizard. This is getting weird. This is not what I mean.
So I didn't get to
This
that
is
part,
not-
so I didn't pick anyone. So there's that.
Well, no, I didn't pick someone. I just talked to him the most.
It just
and then all of a
happened
sudden I was just
naturally.
like, whoa,
Oh,
boobs.
I just didn't talk to any of them between missions. I just picked missions and then I carried on. I had no time to.
That is unfortunate. There's some great
you
dialogue.
warned me about that, and then
Yeah.
I feel like the 3 people on the bottom level, I didn't realize there was a bottom level until you said you need to talk to them beforehand, because it also makes other kind of decisions easier if you talk to them beforehand, which you told me. So I'm definitely playing it different this time.
Can you romance Joker? Because I like Joker. Because I like his
No.
name.
He's a little whiny. It's like I love Seth Green, which there's so
is
many
Joker Seth Green?
voice actors. How did you not pick
notice?
that up?
How did you not pick that up?
Oh gosh.
Wait,
You did not know that.
I
Seth
just
Green?
realized. So one of the principals from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who was in Psychonauts 2, I guess he voice acts for video games, a bunch of video games. But yeah, Seth Green was also on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So it's like I wonder if they were like, "Whoa, fancy seeing you here too, bro." You know? So I'm just like, and there's also who was the other guy? Keith David.
Yeah.
And
I was going
some
to
other
ask
guys.
Keith that you at least picked up on who the voice actor was for Captain Anderson, right?
I can't. I'm terrible with actually knowing who people are, but I recognize that like his voice as recognizable.
Yeah, because he was on. He was in. It's Keith David. He was on Community.
Okay. I mean, I believe you. I didn't actually like. I usually go, oh, I recognize that voice. Let me look it up, and then I didn't do that with him. But I gotta say,
There's a bunch for this
I mean,
game.
so this came out in 2007, so that would have been like peak Buffy the Vampire Slayer, right? That was like right around when it had its like
No.
finale seasons, wasn't it?
Buffy, but well, maybe finale seasons, but I felt like the show dipped down really bad towards the end because it came out in I believe 1997, maybe 96. So I think it might have been after that.
But Buffy the Vampire Slayer was 97 to 2003.
Oh yeah, so it did end before this.
But Keith, did you have favorite squad mates?
Well, I mean, I generally ran with Rex a lot just because I don't know. He just seemed like he was going to do the most damage. He was a big, mean guy. I liked Garrus too. Garrus was cool. But no, I didn't really have character. Like, so again, I didn't have an issue with the dialogue or getting involved in any of the story. I didn't deep dive any of the characters. I didn't really get interested in any of them.
You missed out.
I
Did
believe
you
that.
pick it by ability? Do you know how like when you pick people, it's like combat, tech? what is it,
Largely, yeah.
bio
I
or
would
something?
tend to keep them like pretty balanced if I could.
I had him auto level up.
Oh, I auto leveled up my teammates. But it's
Yeah, my teammates, but not
but
me.
no, as far as like when you were picking your squad, it would show you their strengths and weaknesses, and then it would give you an overall like look of your squad based on those 3 traits. But I tried to keep them pretty much even.
Which the auto fill in for the skill tree, I definitely wasn't gonna do it for all 3 characters, and I really wanted to loot more. Like, it really bothered me going through and being like, oh, your skill is too low. So that's actually why I picked the decryption person for the second one.
So you can hack more things.
Yeah,
The
and it
loot's
was
not great in this game.
I know, but I still wanted it because there are some guns that are way better than others, and I mean, obviously, there's different there's like the level 5 of some of the guns, and then there's like the good mods, and I hated the fact that it kept saying skill too low. So that's why I picked the second person.
So I wasn't crazy about the loot because the loot levels up with your character. Same with like money and XP. So if you're, starting off in the game, if you're doing side missions, it's giving you rewards depending on what your level is. So it all scales with you, and same with the enemies. The enemies on the side quest more scale with you, but the enemies on the main story, I think, are locked. So if you are doing side quests and you get yourself pretty leveled up, you can just roll through like the main quest pretty easily. But yeah, you'll notice that the guns will have a name and then a Roman numeral, 1 through 10. And depending what your level is in the game, like the loot just levels up with you. So for me, I did not care about the looting because I'm just like, I just need to level up because then the loot's going to get better for me. It wasn't like, oh, if you go to this planet, you get this rare secret weapon. No, it's all random, and just when you grab it, it'll just be according to your level. So I did not care for the loot.
What difficulty did I play on? Was it normal?
You did normal because you wanted to do casual, but I was like, don't do casual.
Well, because normal, the second time around, I was actually tempted to put it up 1 because especially like knowing the combat going into it a second time, I mean, I knew exactly how to play it, and the in-between combat was so easy. Like, I didn't die with that. And once I kind of, like, for instance, there's like one that I died a bunch the first time. The one when you're going around in a circle and you have to keep like hitting the monsters, like different parts. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the Thorian.
Yeah. So that time I died a lot, and then the second time I played it, it was so easy. So for me, it's like I feel like if you play it multiple times, like maybe you should make the difficulty higher.
Well, I'm wondering if in playing it through a second time, you would like done more missions and more efficiently, so that you were more leveled up when you got to that part too. Because it's not early in the game, but it's not late either. So I don't know.
Well, you can pick. You get 3 main missions right at the beginning when you leave the Citadel, and you can pick which ones you want to tackle.
That is true. It's true.
But I also didn't realize, and I'm sure the game told me, and I just wasn't paying attention, that the car had, Andrew told me that it had like a big fire.
There's a machine gun. Yeah, there's a secondary gun and a primary gun.
Yeah, and the one that did the big boom, I didn't realize it had that. So I died a lot, and I was just like, how am I supposed to do this?
And you didn't notice it until your second playthrough. You played through the
You
entire
told me
game?
during my second playthrough, and then I was like, because those big, what are they, Sentinels? Is that what they're called?
The big ones are called armatures.
Yeah. They were so annoying. And then when you told me about that, I didn't die a single time. And so for me, just the first playthrough with those, it was just so annoying.
I can't believe you just used the machine gun the entire time on the makeup. That is so impressive. You do some impressive things, Liz. It blows my mind.
I mean, like I said, I died a bunch.
You're
but
a noob.
I never.
But you make the game harder for yourself.
I know, but I never rage quit when I was doing
No.
really poorly because of being stupid.
Even the Thorian fight, you were dying a bunch,
Because
but
you
kept
said,
chugging.
do you want me to beat this for you? And I'm like, no. And that's when I was like, when you asked that, I was like, I'm doing this wrong. And that's when I was really like sniping from afar. And then also the AI is really dumb.
Oh,
and I was
yeah,
like, wait,
yeah.
if I run up this hill, they won't follow me. I can shoot them from up top. And so or send the people forward, because I could always revive them with my Unity.
Yep.
Whatever it's called. Yeah, I think it's Unity.
Yep.
And so for me, like, I just like tactically, I was like, I'm doing this wrong. I never wanted to quit this game. I was like, I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, the AI definitely shows the game's
Oh,
age.
so dumb. And then they were like prancing with their claws, like in the like the princess pose. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, the claws were like bent over, and they were just like prancing towards you. And it's really hard to take them serious.
Put one of the Geth.
No, yeah, it's the it could either be the
creepers.
husks or the creepers.
Yeah.
They're the same model.
They would vomit green stuff at you.
Yeah. I know you're talking
Yeah,
about.
they would. Yeah, it was like seeing them, and sometimes they would just run around in a circle over and over again.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know. I didn't care for him. I don't know. I thought overall that like the gunplay itself was pretty good. I think you're right, Andrew. The loot got really boring. It didn't actually click with me that it leveled up with me. I noticed that I was just finding stronger gear, so I was just equipping it as I got it, but I didn't really connect the two necessarily. But yeah, as a whole, it was, I don't know, it was largely pretty boring. You pick an item, you throw in a couple attachments. Sometimes you mix them up if you're in an area where you're fighting robots versus not robots, and I don't know. There's that. So it wasn't interesting, but it was all right, and I think it was fine. Um, yeah.
Yeah, the combat to me, like, it hooks me. Like, so Mass Effect 1, so this game came out in 2007. I remember I played this game 4 or 5 times because I knew that your choices would carry over. So I remember the first time I was like Liz, where I think I played it through just kind of just willy-nilly, just whatever. And then I was like, no, I need to do straight Paragon. And the next time I was like, I need to do straight Renegade. And then I did like harder difficulties because I wanted to prepare for Mass Effect 2. And I remember there's a lot of things like the leveling up of the equipment, like I didn't pick up on until probably my second playthrough when I noticed that the gear just got better with me.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess part of my point is that it didn't really matter because it doesn't hinder anything not knowing it. It's more just like oh yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. And if anything, it kind of just makes it less interesting because at least when you don't realize it, you're like, oh cool, new weapon, cool. This is a higher level. This is exciting. And then when you realize that, like I just did because you told me, I went, oh, that's kind of disappointing actually.
But I will say, like, so this is the first time I've played this game, I think, honestly, since it originally was on the Xbox 360. So it's been a while since I played the first Mass Effect. And after playing Mass Effect 2, like playing Mass Effect 1 here, I'm just like, man, I can't wait to play Mass Effect 2. Because everything I hated or had complaints about with Mass Effect 1, I feel like they fixed in 2. And like, as much as I enjoy the combat in 1, I feel like it is rather basic. You know, it's basic cover shooter, you know, hide behind cover, pop out, shoot someone, you know, rinse, repeat, and maybe throw some special powers. But yeah, I don't know. I thought the combat was good. I'm surprised it hooked you so much, Liz.
I mean, I thought it was really easy at some points and then challenging. And so for me, like, I also just loved playing around with the weapons. Like, that was the big thing for me where I was just enjoying that. And then also, like, the different mods and even, like, the skill tree. So for me, that's why I found it so interesting.
No, I get what you're saying because as far as like the kind of ongoing combat throughout the game, it got tedious. It got a little bit repetitive at times because I didn't think there was a ton of enemies, but the boss fights were all right and somewhat challenging. But I also agree too, where the like mixing up the guns was fun, and I actually liked that it seemed noticeable when you equipped your teammates with like the weapons that they were strong in, that they actually became noticeably better. That was something I didn't take advantage of enough or pay attention to enough, I guess.
Well, I also think some characters, like the side characters, were also like weaker than others. And then I don't like, for instance, like I was trying with Caden. I gave him the mods and he just kept falling, man. And I was just like, listen, just carry like some weight. And Andrew, please delete this if it's a spoiler. But we both found it interesting that with the final boss, like you can actually have him like shoot himself.
What? Andrew's been saying that on so many episodes for so long. So he's no one to talk about spoilers.
I mean, it's not like he comes back in a way.
Yeah.
Well, more
for me,
spoiler,
it's just like it's. But for me, it's like having the charm or the intimidate, like really utilizing your skill tree. You can kind of change that. So does it cut like the final boss fight?
It does a little bit. So I always say this. When any RPG I always play, I always max out charm on any character because I'm like, like there's always times where I'm like, this is going to come in handy. And for pro tip for Mass Effect, I absolutely 100% will say, if you're going Paragon, you know, you're leveling up your charm. If you're going Renegade, you're leveling up your Intimidate. Either one of those trees, make sure you focus on that. It'll be so useful because, I mean, Liz already said it, but it's one of the moments of this game that I think I just absolutely love. The final boss fight. If you have your charm or Intimidate high enough, you can convince the final boss to kill himself. It's such a wild moment. I absolutely love that this game kind of has this. I mean, there's more to the fight, but it's just a cool exciting moment in the story, and I love it.
Well, throughout the entire game, you're kind of having this issue with you don't know how brainwashed people are. Like some people knowingly are doing these evil things, and other people it's just this like slow brainwashing. And so there is kind of this morality issue where it's like, you know, do you kill this person where you're not sure if they are evil or not? Like you're like, you know, it's like it's the same with like cults in real life. It's like how much of it is like you're just willing to do bad things versus are you just like really easily manipulated? So I felt like too, like there were times where you're like, you have the option of like for renegade, like you deserve to die versus like, do you know what? I trust you.
I love the renegade like responses that you say.
Because
There are some where it's just like, yeah, I do want to kill you, but I'm trying to
Be good here.
so Mass Effect does one of those fun things where it gives you these text options. They matter. So it's got all those. We talk about that all the time. But the text option you choose isn't what your character says. It gives you like an idea of it. And I think I was telling Andrew, my favorite one of them, it was like you come up on some guards that don't fire on you, but they almost do. And the option was something along the lines of like, no funerals, no foul or something. I was like, I gotta choose that. And he's just like, well, you didn't shoot, so it's okay. That's a completely different thing. And that's very harmless. Like, yeah, that I would expect, like, yeah, you didn't shoot me. It's cool. We're fine. Like, no, the other option was way funnier. Say that.
Yeah, sometimes it was the complete opposite. Where, like I said, I was like, oh, this guy's being rude. I'm gonna sass him, and then I shoot him. I'm just like, that is not what I meant, sir.
Whoa!
Like it was just like. So yeah, I kind of didn't really know what was going on with the dialogue. It was definitely a gamble whenever you picked the renegade option.
Yeah, another thing they don't really explain to the game in the game, but you kind of pick up later on as you play that, you know, on the dialogue tree, you kind of have like an upper right, you have a middle right, and then a bottom right. Upper right choices tend to be more of the paragon good choice. The middle right is like neutral. Bottom right is usually the renegade evil option.
But it switches it up, and
Yeah,
sometimes the blue isn't what you want either, which is like usually like the
varies
high
slightly.
charm.
Yeah.
But usually, like 99% of the time, the blue charm is like the really good positive.
Yeah, so that's a little thing to figure out if you're trying to play good or bad, but it's just something you got to think about. But I wanted to ask you, so obviously Liz, you get my help, but Keith, you didn't. How well do you think this game explains things? Because starting over again, I did not realize, I felt like this game gives you very minimal tutorial.
Yeah, I definitely thought there was a lacking in tutorial, and I didn't mind necessarily. I don't think I mentioned this. I played Mass Effect, I don't know, not 15 years ago, but probably 12 years ago, I bet. It wasn't new when I played it. It might have even been around when Mass Effect 2 came out, because I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to totally play it through Mass Effect, and then I'm going to play Mass Effect 2, and then I didn't do either of those things. So I don't really remember much of my time with it, but I think having played through a little bit made it easier. Now, I will say, like Liz, I didn't know that I had the big boom shooty on the Mako either, but I figured it out, I think, on like my second time in the Mako, not my second time through the game. So like I didn't have many struggles, I think, because of it, but there'd be like little things that here and there that'd be like, oh, cool, I didn't actually realize I could do that. I must have missed, I guess, where a dodge roll was or a jump of any kind, because I never found those.
No, there's
Oh
no
my
jump.
gosh,
That was
I found
sarcasm,
the
Andrew.
jump with.
Oh, and the Mako.
I
Yeah, I was
wasn't.
just gonna
Nope,
say,
wasn't
I
talking
found
about the
the jump
Mako.
with the
Was just
Oh!
talking about in the game. Was just being very, very sarcastic.
Well, he's probably thinking because in the Mako, I found the jump and I thought it was like the thrust.
Yeah,
You thought it was a boost, yeah.
The
The
jump was the
boost?
worst
And
thing you
so
could do.
I was like,
It was
yeah.
already hard
I
enough
was
to
like, why
control.
can't
Why
I
would
go
I
up
make
this
it
hill?
worse?
The Mako is hot garbage. It is a hot garbage on wheels. It is so
It
bad.
was so bad
In all
because it
fairness-
felt like it was trying to be Halo, but it like
Yeah.
it was like Halo.
The front lifts up randomly.
It was like play school Halo. It just it didn't have all of the same parts. You were kind of just doing it Fred Flintstone style.
The Mako's infamous for how awful it is. Like I said, Mass Effect 2 fixed these problems. There's no more Mako. That thing crashes and burns at the end, and It's a glorious fire to
I like
watch.
how that's how they fix it. They just don't have it. My God, we're not even gonna bother. Just get rid of it.
No more makeup.
I will say, like you said, the tutorial wise, like I didn't know how to run. I didn't know how to like unequip my weapon and stuff. I figured it out eventually.
Well, I told you.
But also, I think it's dumb that like I hate when games make it so that you get fatigued when you're in a non-combat area.
Yeah.
Just let me run, man.
Yep.
And especially because like there is the travel system, which is great. But there's a lot of like in between because you want to be able to pick up those side quests where you're just like running across random people. So I definitely think they need to utilize that more.
Like I said, they fixed a lot of things in Mass Effect 2.
And graphically, I want to say too, like my first game to my second game, the first woman that I picked, her hair did not look like that. And then I was playing the game and I was like, this game is doing me dirty. And so the second character, because I was just doing like the auto character, and I definitely did a better one the second time around. But
Yeah.
I also
I
think
just
too,
like default. I like default Shepard, whether you're doing male or female.
Oh, I messed.
Yeah.
I think they look
I
good.
messed with mine. I think mine looks excellent.
Oh,
Oh
God,
yeah, we
Keith.
know.
Yeah, we know.
It's not the
If you-
best
if you wanna see
character
Keith's
creator
character-
I've played, but it's pretty good.
If you want to see Key's character, make sure you follow us on our Facebook or Twitter at GPGBpod. It's a thing of
I
nightmares.
also I was having a little bit too much fun with the game, and I made this I think fart humor is really funny, and I was just like having a couple drinks, and it was like midnight, and I was like, I'm going to make a funny joke about Keith and put a fart in there, and so I did like a TikTok thing,
yeah.
which I don't know how to use TikTok. It's on Twitter. I did a fart joke. A TikTok. Is that what TikTok is for? I don't
Fart
know.
joke.
TikTok is for Twitter fart jokes. Yes, I think that is.
But you will see my
put it
first
on a
character-
t-shirt.
You will see my first character on the TikTok, so you'll see what I mean about the hairline. It just wasn't working.
Yeah, my hairline
But
was all
also
messed
the-
up.
That's what was messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. The aliens in this game are so cute though.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the character models. I love the alien designs. You know, you got the L core. I knew you would
Oh
love
my
them.
goodness! Thank you for bringing that up.
I knew you would love the
They
L
would
core.
always talk about their feelings first, being
Yeah, they can't
anxious
express
or-
emotion, so they have to state their emotion.
my heart.
They look like kind of weird, like sloth elephants.
And I just wanted more of them.
Yeah.
There are certain people and aliens that you run into. You're just I want to hug them. My emotions, I think it was just I don't know. When I was playing, I was just I just want to hug everyone.
I'm so glad you love this game as much as I did. Mass Effect has such a special place in my heart, and I'm glad you see it now.
I do. I'd heard about the game, and I just the name itself. I was just oh, it just seems like a
Yeah,
shooter
not a great
game.
name. Because also too, it's weird that it's named after a kind of a relatively minor event where it's the Mass Effect is the humans discovered technology and got good at spaceflight. But it's I don't know. To me, that seems kind of weird. It's okay.
Well, I guess maybe you becoming
It
a
just-
Spectre is also the next Mass Effect.
I
I don't know.
guess.
I'm
know.
stretching because I honestly
I
didn't
know
even
you are.
realize that was why it was called. I didn't.
It's literally the first 10 seconds of
You
the game.
think I
it
was
tells
paying
you.
attention that early on? Jeez, Andrew, give me some
It's a
credit.
black screen with dialogue, and you didn't read it?
No.
But I agree with you, Liz. I think the alien designs are fantastic. They're very distinct. And to not only that, a lot of the, specifically, the Turians
I was gonna say the
and the
Turians.
Asari, and honestly, the Solarians, they're they're an alien race that you interact a lot with. And, the Solarians look like lizards. Turians are kind of
I want to know what they
cat-like.
originally looked like because you said this is an updated.
yeah, honestly, but not much better. When you compare the graphics, it's not it's crazy night and day. They just fixed kind of some of the jagged edgeness of them.
I need to say though, the Turians, the eyes and the lizard effect and stuff, I felt they had so much personality. And then you looked at the humans, there were certain scenes throughout the entire thing where the humans' eyes would just go bonkers. They were just looking down at the wrong angle and looking right at the
Cold,
wrong angle.
dead
They
eyes.
were yes, it was Like
No.
Weekend at Bernie's, is that the
Yes.
movie?
Yeah.
Like there was nothing going on up there. Like, and so for me, like I just thought it was really funny that the Turians with their eyes, I was like, man, this is awesome. And then the humans just be like, no.
No.
Start
You
over,
don't
please.
understand. So this is from Bioware. At this time when this game came out, this was like Bioware was like when Bioware was like prime Western RPG. They just came out with KOTOR, KOTOR 2, Jade Empire. Like they were doing a fantastic job with RPGs. You know, then they had this. This is great. The most recent one of Mass Effect Andromeda, which is kind of this side Mass Effect story, you should look up when that game launched. Facial expressions that game. It is nightmare fuel. I forgot how bad it was, and then I like saw some videos. It's awful. And that game came out 5
I cannot
years
imagine
ago.
it being worse. I wish I took
No,
more
it's
game
bad.
clips of the eyes in this game. Like there is just something like just not right. Like how did they miss that? There's so many like cool expressions and stuff in this game, and then like that.
No, I was going to say almost at times the humans were a bit too expressive. I was like, you need to reel it in just a little bit because it's uncomfortable right now how expressive they were.
When I say cool expressions, I mean the aliens.
I know.
The
I
humans
didn't-
were not. I felt like even like the smiling and things like that, there was something really, really wrong with the humans in this game. No wonder why the aliens don't like them.
No, yeah, there was really weird moments where your character just kind of like looks like they're smiling, but they're not. Although I don't know. Again, maybe that's because my character had weird. I don't know, no lips.
Andrew's showing me the pictures from Andromeda.
Oh god.
Mass Effect Andromeda, the facial expressions, like they patched it eventually. But when it first came out, yeah, it was real bad.
That one just kills me. But yeah, one of my favorites, but by far not the worst. That's the one I did with TikTok. The eye movement. Oh man! And what do you guys think of the music?
I loved it. It's always quietly in the background, but there's a couple moments where it really picks up, and it conveys such a fantastic like space opera. Mm-hmm. I love the soundtrack of Mass Effect. It's really good.
Yeah,
I don't think it was as epic as some, but I definitely did pick up on it a lot.
No, I think the biggest issue is timing. I think that's what you're just saying, Andrew. It's like sometimes it's just, I don't know, it carried on too long, started too early or whatever, like did weird things. But when it was working right, it was great. It did sometimes fade into the background a little for me, like if I was in the Citadel and things like that. But even the Citadel music would change a little bit as you would move through different areas. So I feel like there was aspects of that even changed up. So
It took me so long because whenever I hear Citadel, I think of Rick and Morty, and I bring that up a lot
The
with
Citadel
video
Ricks.
games like Rick and Morty, and yeah, I always like because the music in the Citadel with Rick and Morty and stuff, and just like I just always have this kind of atmospheric, kind of idea when I hear Citadel, and it took me so long to separate myself from that, but it's also kind of like with the ending, I'm just like Rick and Morty. Spoiler.
Yeah, to me, where the music really takes off is during the like cinematic cutscenes. It does a great job. Yes, I don't think the music's as like blood pumping as like when Halo would pick up during like fight scenes.
Yeah.
But it is really good music. It's always kind of playing a little bit in the background where it kind of fades in, but it feeds so well into the environment, into what the game's conveying of, this is space. It's, really kind of like this space opera. And I think it does a fantastic job.
And the voice acting.
The voice acting is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Some of the writing isn't. Some moments are kind of, but overall the voice acting I think is phenomenal.
yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe I didn't get as many of the cringy ones, but I just thought there was just like
You got that one with Rex.
that was probably my favorite one. No, I mean overall, like there was ones that made me laugh, like just I don't know, just dumb little things. Like it was one of the guards in the Citadel. He's like, I've been here for 5 years and I still haven't seen everything. I'm like, I've been here 10 minutes and I've seen literally every inch of this place. Like I don't know what you're talking about. So there's like, it definitely had those weird moments of just like that makes no sense. This is just dialogue for dialogue's sake. But I think my absolute favorite, and I guess maybe my cringiest, and I had to take a clip of it even, was I had Rex with me when I fought the Renegade Queen, and I had the option to kill her, and I said no. I'm gonna take the high ground, and I hate spiders. I let the spiders live, and I don't know, somewhere in the process, he just literally looks at her and goes, "We're not gonna die, bitch." It's like she didn't even threaten us. She didn't say anything. She just was talking, and he was just, I don't know. It was.
I forgot about that.
And there's not a
big
lot of
decision.
swearing in the game, so it was kind of like out of nowhere. I was like, wait, what just happened? I think I was not expecting that.
I know you loved Liz. You thought Rex was very sassy.
Yeah, no, I love Rex. And I'm also thinking too, I say this with so many games, like I really do wonder if the government has like a little algorithm being like what our choices are. Because that was another big one that Keith just mentioned with the, do you let them live or not?
Yeah.
Well, I prevented genocide, so I'm good, I guess.
Yeah.
For people who've played the game, there is a big, both of you, let's look this up. There's a big choice where you kind of decide with one of your crew members. And, people who've played the game will know what I'm saying. But we looked it up, and 94% of the people picked the good option, and only 6% picked the bad option.
No, it's
and that's
because
what
I didn't know the blue was the one that would save this person. And so I quit.
Wait, you let him die?
No, I didn't shoot him.
Okay.
Stupid Ashley coming around, not minding her own business as usual. Ashley is the worst. And so for me, it took me like a good 4 times where I was like, what am I doing wrong? And then I figured out, if you do the blue, then you calm him down in time. Ashley doesn't come around like trying to shoot all the aliens. I hate her. So that's why, like I said earlier, all these people are like, Ashley isn't a racist. Ashley's really cool. It's like, shut up. I'm sorry
So
if
fiery.
you're one of those people. There's something about her that and I find out other stuff like in the later Mass Effects as I was Googling her trying to find that thing. I just don't, like, she's attractive. Like, is that why you're just like trying to stick up for her? Like, no.
Oh my god.
I don't think you have to really apologize to
fiery.
like racist apologists. I think you could. I don't think.
I understand where people come from. They're like, oh, this person said this and this person said that. That thing I said earlier about the dogs, nothing is worse that I've seen in this game. Maybe y'all are picking like different things that like pick up on other racist stuff. I didn't see it. That was the worst that I've seen, is all I'm saying.
All right. Liz.
No, just give me all around the scene where it's just like, I did not choose.
You said his name.
Just like, I did not choose for this person that I will not say the name of to be killed. And just like, Ashley's coming around, guns fired. I guess spoiler, it wasn't her. She wasn't the one getting shot. I wish it was.
Sounds like you did, and yet here we are getting, yelled at because we didn't hurt a monkey. I'm just saying.
I did
That is
not.
a good point, Keith. Once again.
I did not shoot this person. I was trying to save them. I
You
would
didn't
just
save
like
him,
to
though.
say
So,
that.
ergo,
No, I would just like to
you are
say
responsible
that
for his death.
this is before like the autosave. This is before I was utilizing autosave. I went back so far to save this person. I put so much time into saving this person. Honestly, more time than you even probably played the game, Keith. Just
Poor
kidding.
innocent sea monkeys. Just trying to hand you things, getting run down.
How much time did you spend killing those monkeys? And how much time
None,
did I
'cause they never
spend
died.
trying to
Never
save
died.
poor
You said his name again.
Oh my gosh.
It's almost like a game to get Liz to say. Anywho, before Liz tries to spoil this game anymore.
So let's get into the achievements here. So overall, though, the achievements this is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, so a lot of the achievements kind of carry over for some of the other games. Overall, though, I think the achievements are really good in Mass Effect.
I kind of disagree. With the amount of time that I put into this game, I expected more than 550.
You have to try for a good amount
You
of them.
really, no, like for instance, like completing like 75% of the game or something.
Yeah.
I still haven't gotten that. I got 550 out of 2,915. Keith, 250. Andrew, 840. And
Well-
I got 24 achievements out of 127. Keith, 15, and Andrew, 40.
My score is slightly off because I have some Mass Effect 2 achievements, but I did get like 750. There was there's 2 achievements for Mass Effect that I did not get. So for people who are achievement hunters, overall, I think this is a pretty decent game for achievement hunters. Not too hard. Mass Effect's not too long of a game, too. This game alone is about 17 hours. If you just focus on the main story missions, which there's like 6, it's not a very long game. And there's 2 expansions that are included in the game, Bring It Down the Sky and Pinnacle Station. Both from relatively generic, but the choices you make in those are pretty significant in the sequel. So make sure you play the expansions of Mass Effect 1. But for missable achievements for Mass Effect, for people who are achievement hunters, there's one called the Archivist, where you are supposed to find and learn about all primary and secondary council alien races. At the very beginning of the game, you're supposed to talk to Captain Anderson and Nihilus, and they're supposed to tell you about the Protheans. Even though you hear about the Protheans a bunch, the only way you get the Codex is right there at the beginning. If you do not do it at the beginning, you will. It's missable. Yeah, then you got to learn about the Keepers, which the computer can tell you about it at the Citadel. So that one you can do. You can at least go back to that one. But as far as learning about the Protheans at the very beginning, if you don't do it at the very beginning, you don't get that achievement. And then there is an achievement, of course, to beat Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 on insanity difficulty without changing the difficulty. So those are kind of the 2 missable ones. As far as the other ones you got to work for, it's, use a certain amount of power so many times, but you can use your teammates' powers and it counts. So you just got to work for it a little bit. But overall, the achievements aren't very hard.
Did you have other achievements? So this came out on 360, correct?
Yeah, the Xbox 360, yeah.
And so it didn't carry over and stuff, I'm assuming?
What, the achievements?
Yeah.
No, it does. So this is kind of considered a separate game.
So, because I'm just curious, I'm assuming you played all the Mass Effects. So that's
did.
why I'm looking at the 840 and I'm like, where is it not working for you?
Well, the 840, this is the Mass Effect Legendary Edition, which has, I think, 250 gamer score. So the fact that I have 800, it's because I have some of them that are on, I have some of them from Mass Effect 2.
Oh, gotcha.
But my original gamer score, I actually found out my original gamer score in the original copy of Mass Effect, I have 730 gamer score. So 32 out of 49.
Are you able to see what I have?
It says friends that played it. You are not one of the friends that have played the game.
Maybe I didn't play enough of it to ever get an achievement. I swear I played it, though. Or maybe I jumped right into Mass Effect 2.
Wait, no, Keith, I did find you.
Huh?
So, Keith, for you, you have beaten Eden Prime.
All right.
And that is the only achievement you have on the original Mass Effect.
Yeah.
So you did the tutorial. Congratulations, Keith.
Look at me. Pretty impressive. Don't
right.
sign up for my tips now.
So let's get into our final thoughts here. Keith, why don't you take it away?
So I was I guess a little uncertain just because I don't know. I always struggle a little bit with these games, and I mean, as we discussed, since I didn't get to the ending of the game, I struggled in that aspect. I did what I do a lot of times in these, and I don't know. I got so sidetracked with all the little side stuff. Yeah, just quite honestly, there was a good chunk of time where I didn't even know I had missions versus side quests that I could look at. So I wasn't even following my main missions for a while. However, I still largely enjoyed my time with it. I think the fact that you don't spend a lot of time doing too much junk stuff. You're at least kind of moving between one thing or another pretty quickly, it felt like. And I liked the overall environment and world that was created to it. So I actually enjoyed it, and I'm going to trust Andrew in the fact that they clean up the things that weren't so great about Mass Effect 1. And I'm optimistic for playing the second one. I probably will try to beat this one, actually. Like, I say that a lot for games. I'm like, I'll go back and play it. I think I will, because assuming we're going to play Mass Effect 2, I want my game to carry over. I think that'll make it more fun and more interesting. So I plan to finish this. Looking forward to the second one, actually. And I know it's weird because I'm not like in love with this like Andrew and Liz, but it's an 85 for me.
So as I said, for me, anyone who's listened to this podcast for a while now, I've said numerous times on multiple episodes that Halo and Mass Effect are my 2 favorite like game series, and I forgot. It's not that I forgot. Just like replaying this again, it just sparks so much joy. For me, the story is a 10 out of 10. I think the story of Mass Effect is so well written. it has these really nice twists and turns. It first starts off very generic, you're a space shooty man fighting angry guy who wants power. But it really delves into more of the lore in the world that is Mass Effect, and you're learning about past aliens, other species, this whole conflict that goes on. And it is so well written, and the dialogue and the voice dialogue is so good. It really invests you, you just get so invested in these characters. Another pro tip, absolutely talk to your crew members. The dialogue's interesting, it's funny, it's great to hear about them. I'm generally not a lore person. I don't want to read codex and past history, yada yada. But this game does such a good job, kind of spoon feeding you it, that you understand the picture that is going on. But it's not something where I need to read a book to understand what's going on. It's so well paced. It's such a fun story. The characters and crew members are great to have. The combat to me is a little stale. Absolutely hate the Mako. It's just not fun. The side quests are not fun. They're just busy work. You're going to a lot of generic, reused, facilities. You've seen one science facility on an uncharted planet. You've seen them all. So it's just really kind of boring. The DLC is also kind of boring. But the way this game sets up the overall story, Mass Effect, is fantastic. If you have not played this game, you need to just sit down and play it. It is a lot of fun. And for an RPG, 17 hours, not that bad. For me, though, I'm going to give it a 93.
See, I was unsure what to give it because you told me that the other Mass Effects were so much better, but I really did like this one. There obviously are some minor gripes that I have with it, and so I was torn between a 91 and 92. And so I think I'm just going to give it just a 92 because I did love it. I do think that there are enough gripes with it that I'm just that's why I was kind of teetering on the edge
what
of it.
gripes?
Like you said, with the side quests. So for me, I didn't have any issue going back and forth between the side quests and the main missions. I thought I thought it was very easy to navigate. So for me, I knew the main missions.
Wow, that's saying a lot coming from you too.
I know,
you struggle with navigation.
There were things that I troubled. There were things I had trouble with, for instance, learning how to run and tiny little things like that. But when it came to the skill tree, when it came to equipping the mods, when it came to figuring out on the journal what the main missions were and then the side missions, I do wish that they kind of had a better map system with figuring out where things were with the side missions and the main missions, being able to kind of, is the word toggle, have both up at the same time. That would have made it easier, but I knew okay, I'm going to Nevaria. I'm going to go to my side missions. Which ones are in Nevaria? Which ones are just finding the metals and things like that? I thought it was so easy to navigate.
Wow.
And so for me, I just you told me there was more little quality of life things with the other ones. So I guess I'm going to give it a 92 because the fact that I'm playing it through again, this time more focusing on the side missions. And because I didn't rush through the first time that I played, but I also knew I definitely wanted to beat it and I wanted to be able to go back and play it again. So I rushed it, I guess, a little bit. Looking at Metacritic, 85 and 8.3.
85?
There were people giving it 60s and 7s, and I was just listen, you're our fourth and silent co-host with that score for this game. So for me, I don't know. I mean, there are people that just don't like the style of the game, I think the fact that even Keith even gave it an 85, I'm just how could somebody give it a 60?
if Keith gave an RPG an 85,
it's crazy.
It's got to be pretty good. But speaking of which, but our fourth co-host didn't say anything?
I didn't see anything. Maybe he did the legendary collection, did a overall score. I didn't look. I just looked for this. There were quite a lot of reviews.
All right. Alrighty, well, I think that's going to do it for us. So thank you again so much, Ron, for recommending that we play this game. Please make sure you recommend we play Mass Effect 2 so we can put it on our list and do it sooner than later. If you have any game suggestions, please email us at gamepassgrabbag@gmail.com or Facebook and Twitter at gbgbpod. I've been your hardcore gamer host, Andrew. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird01952. Thank you all so much who have gone and given us reviews on Spotify or Apple. We love you all. Thank you so much for taking the time and doing that. We appreciate it. We love getting feedback. We love when you guys write to us too. So thank you.
I've been Keith. I fixed my audio halfway through this episode, so sorry about that first half.
Stellar work.
Yeah,
We've only been doing this for 3 years.
it's every so often I just, I forget how to do this. I guess look for our plug on Twitter. We're nearing 100 followers, so I don't know. I feel like that's a cool thing. So let's.
We really suck at Twitter.
Hey, I think 100 Twitter followers is pretty dang good for how bad we are at social media. So you know what? We accidentally
we have
stumbled
more
into
Spotify reviews than we have Twitter followers.
I don't know. That's pretty impressive. So I guess if you've given us a review and you're still listening to us, follow us on Twitter if you have it. I don't know. I'll put it out there.
Yeah, we put a lot of game polls up there. So
Yeah, because Andrew can't figure out how to do polls on Facebook, so we only do them on Twitter.
Anytime I do them on Facebook, they only do 2.
And I Googled at one point and it said it wasn't working at that point.
Yeah, you can only do like 2 options on a Facebook poll.
Should we do a new
for
game?
The 4
yes
ones.
or no?
Yeah.
And I'm Liz Noob, gamertag coming on Dean. I'm on Twitter at LizNoob And also, if I should just start like following people that follow me. And also, if you know any like fun Twitter accounts, I feel like Twitter is getting to be a really dark place, and I use it for finding funny things. So if you have any funny accounts that you want me to follow, I'll start following anybody that follows me. I want to see the funny, joyful stuff.
There's too much sadness.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us. We love you all. We hope to see you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.